All right, we're cutting across to these live visuals of Prime Minister Modi along with the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Now remember, they are going to shortly begin their bilateral meeting at Hyderabad House, which is where they are. These are the live visuals that we're showing you. Remember, just a short while ago, we showed you the ceremonial reception that took place at around 9 to 9:30. That was at the Rashtrapati Bhavan where the national anthems were played. That was a traditional ceremony for the heads of state, and this was, of course, for the Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Now, afterwards, we then saw Anthony Albanese take part in a wreath-laying ceremony at Rajghat, where he essentially paid tribute for the second time during his visit here to Mahatma Gandhi. Now we're crossing over to CNN News 18's Foreign Affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha to get us more on this. Abhishek, we are shortly going to see the meeting, the bilateral between the Prime Ministers begin.
Yes, this bilateral is going to be very important because we know the kind of friendship and the strength this Australia-India bilateral ties has seen in the recent past. We have all seen the footages of Prime Minister Modi with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese on the cricket ground in Ahmedabad Stadium yesterday. And that also kind of symbolizes the strength and the confidence these two leaders have over each other. Today, while the discussions will be on the range of issues in the bilateral trade, commerce, strategic partnership, renewable energy, clean energy, and Australia is also looking forward to having more investment coming from India for the exploration of rare earth minerals in Australia. We know a lot of investment is already in the mining sector from India to Australia. At the same time, India is also looking forward to having more clean energy technology from Australia, which will facilitate in attaining the ambitious target of India by 2030, having more dependence on renewable energy.
Now, what are going to be the key focuses of the bilateral? What is the expected outcome?
So we are going to have, these two leaders will be having some memorandum of understanding also that will be signed around 1 o'clock. And after that, we'll have a joint presser addressed by both the leaders where they will outline the discussions that they had with each other. We know that Australian Prime Minister is also coming with 27 members strong CEOs delegation who are representing major companies from Australia in the field of agriculture, renewable energy, technology. And then the critical mineral, critical earth material are one of the areas where these two countries are trying to focus in collaborating, where the Australian mines would be made available for Indian investors. So that is one area where we will have some clarity as to what the leaders discussed. Then there is obviously a strategic part of the discussion where India and Australia are partners in Quad Forum, where the common challenge and concern has been coming from the Chinese side. These two countries also want free floating and rules-based Indo-Pacific. And in that sector, what will be the discussions? We'll have to wait till the joint presser by the two leaders will be addressed.
Absolutely. Now, Abhishek, do stay with us. I just want to go over a few of the statements that were made by the Australian Prime Minister earlier today. We had said that India and Australia are great friends, we're partners, and we are building that strong partnership. Now, our personal relationship as the Prime Ministers of India and Australia, they of course focus on the people-to-people ties. We want to cooperate with India and build a relationship when it comes to culture, economic relations, and security. And he also said that he wanted to formally thank Prime Minister Modi for his extraordinary visit. Now, remember, the Australian Prime Minister is on a 4-day visit to India. Abhishek, would you be able to go over what's taken place in the last couple of days when it comes to this exciting trip?
Yes, this trip has been exciting for Albanese because he himself has said that in the late 90s he was in India as a backpacker, as a tourist, as a solo person. So he had a fair idea of India in 90s, but since then it has changed a lot. The last visit of Anthony Albanese was somewhere around 2018 as a member delegation from Australian government to India. But this time he is leading the delegation as the Prime Minister of Australia. One more interesting part is that the last Prime Minister of Australia or the current Prime Minister of Australia, there has been a bipartisan support when it comes to having a close and strong relationship with India, because a lot of Indian diaspora lives in Australia. They are contributing in various social, cultural, and economic development of Australia. So a clear connect is established between the two countries, where now the discussions and the regular meetings of the leaders is is actually trying to further that strides. India has also helped Australia diplomatically at IAEA recently when China was objecting to having Australia some nuclear powered submarine that was coming from August partners. So it looks like the partnership that is happening at bilaterally in the areas of trade, commerce, and economy is also very deep rooted and is playing at diplomatic level at international organization as well.
Absolutely. Abhishek, do stay with us. We're also crossing over to CNN News 18, Siddhant Mishra, who's joining us on the line to get us more on this. Siddhant, over to you.
Well, yes, that's right. Taking forward what Abhishek was talking about, this one meeting is very significant since this is happening after multiple ministerial level engagements. Engagements from both sides before this meeting. And in fact, today, both these leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Albanese, they both are going to sit with the high powered delegation of business community at Hyderabad House. And in fact, in post that there is going to be a press, and in fact, the announcements as far as the agreements between the two nations will be signed. So the announcement is also going to take place today. So in Australia is the 17th biggest trading partner of India. And for Australia, India is the 9th biggest trading partner. In fact, in last one decade, Australia is perhaps the first country with which India.
All right, we will try to reestablish that connection at a later point. We are going to continue to track the Australian Prime Minister's visit to India.